The village of Glencairn, shrouded in mist, haunted by whispers, a darkness lingered, an ancient evil. It seeped from the earth, from the very stones themselves. The villagers knew, they never spoke of it. Legend told of the Bleeding Fang, a sword forged in blood, a blade wielded by a demon. It brought only suffering, madness, death. Its resting place, a crypt hidden in the heart of the glen, lost to time, or so they thought. Eamon, the village blacksmith, strong, kind, haunted by curiosity, the legend of the Bleeding Fang. He couldn't shake it. An inexplicable pull, he felt it deep within his soul. One moonless night he ventured into the glen. The air grew cold. He stumbled upon it, the crypt half swallowed by the earth. Eamon hesitated. His heart pounded. He felt both fear and excitement. He descended, deeper into the darkness. The air hung heavy, thick with decay, the stench of death. Eamon pressed on. His hand shook. He held his lantern high. In the center of the crypt, a stone sarcophagus, and upon it, the Bleeding Fang. The sword pulsed with an eerie light. Its blade whispered, promises of power, of vengeance. Eamon reached out. His fingers brushed against the cold steel. A jolt. Pain shot through his arm. The pact was sealed. Eamon emerged, bathed in the pale moonlight. He held the Bleeding Fang aloft. His eyes burned with an unholy fire. The sword thrummed, hungry for blood. Eamon's grip tightened. He was no longer in control. The first drops fell, crimson stains on the virgin snow. A scream echoed in the night, then silence. The Bleeding Fang drank deep. Eamon, a puppet, dancing to the blade's dark melody. The killing had begun. Days turned to nights. The glen echoed with screams. Eamon, a whirlwind of death. The sword led him from house to house, leaving a trail of carnage. The villagers fought back. It was futile. The Bleeding Fang drank deep. With each life taken, Eamon changed. His skin grew pale, his eyes hollowed, his humanity fading, replaced by something monstrous. A shell inhabited by the blade's evil. The glen, now a graveyard. Silence hung heavy, broken only by the moans of the damned. For the Bleeding Fang was not finished. Those it slew, they rose again, twisted mockeries of their former selves. Their eyes glowed with the same unholy fire. They thirsted, not for blood, but for the warmth of the living, to spread the curse, to join the ranks of the damned. Trapped within, Eamon watched. A flicker of his former self remained, trapped within the prison of his body. He saw the horrors he inflicted, felt the pain he caused, yet he was powerless to stop it. The Bleeding Fang held him captive, its grip on his soul unbreakable. He was a prisoner in his own body, forced to witness the destruction, the end of everything he held dear, his torment, eternal. The cleansing fire. A lone figure stood atop the hill, a traveller, drawn by the smoke, by the stench of death. He saw the carnage, the shambling horrors. He knew this evil must be stopped. He carried no sword, no axe. His weapon was far more potent, fire. He set the village ablaze. The flames danced, consuming the dead, purifying the glen, a necessary evil, a painful end. Ashes to ashes. The fire raged for days. When it finally subsided, only ash remained. The Bleeding Fang lay amidst the ruins, its glow extinguished, the curse dormant but not broken. It waited, for time meant nothing to the blade. It would slumber until curiosity or greed lured another soul, and the cycle would begin anew. The Bleeding Fang would drink deep once more. The cycle resets. The glen remained silent, a graveyard reclaimed by nature, but the whispers persisted, carried on the wind. A warning, a reminder. The Bleeding Fang was out there, waiting. Someday, someone would stumble upon the crypt, drawn by curiosity, tempted by power, and the Bleeding Fang would rise again, to unleash its horror upon the world.